Now, many people have heard of cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies have gone up and they've gone down. You've heard of stories, people making millions, if not billions out of cryptocurrencies, and other people losing whole fortunes, their family's wealth, just by trading in speculative Bitcoins. If we take this as an example, this is $100 bill from the US. Why do you trust that? If I gave you $100, why would you trust it? Because everybody else trusts it? Because it's from a central bank? And what Bitcoin set out to do was change the way in which we transact money, that we don't need a central counterparty to deal with our transactions. This is an abstract from the white paper that was written by Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, whoever he, she, they are. And what it shows is that they were looking to create a network that could allow for peer-to-peer transactions. The idea was, let's get rid of banks. Let's try and use technology to cut out the middle person, the middle party, taking some transaction fees. Now, it's a good idea. What I don't think they intended was for Bitcoin to get as big as it is right now. Now, why do we need this technology in place? If I was to give you a check, what would you want on that check? Well, you'd want it to be signed, okay? You'd also want that check to be from an authorized bank, so you know you could trust that check rather than me just writing it down on a piece of paper. And so Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies were looking to replace traditional technologies, traditional institutions, using simple technology, algorithms that could replace this. But we are faced with quite a challenging problem. So I'm out with my daughter, she does something amazing, I take a little video of it, I send that to my parents as a proud father, my friends, family, all on WhatsApp, Facebook. Where does that video now exist? Well, it exists on my phone, it exists in the cloud, on Facebook servers, WhatsApp servers, it exists on other people's phones as well. And that's okay, I'm okay with that video existing in lots of places. But if I want to digitally or virtually from my PC send someone money, and it's all virtual currency, it has to move from my PC to somebody else's. It can't still exist on my device. And that is quite a complex thing to solve. And so Bitcoin was set to do that. And what it did do was create something called the blockchain. What this is a store of all of these transactions that are locked away. And how do we lock those transactions away? We do something called mining. Mining is quite a complex thing to understand. In the program, we'll go over how mining actually works. But if you think about it, it's a simple way of trying to get a code that locks this little block away, and no one can go back and change the transactions that have happened in this little block. We call it immutable. That means no one can go back to records. But all of this stuff is stored in a central ledger, and anybody all over the world could have access to that ledger. So Bitcoin created this idea, if you like, of the blockchain. And within a block, what we're trying to do is lock off transactions. And we lock these transactions off when there is something called consensus, i.e. loads of people are looking at that blockchain, loads of people are looking at those transactions, and if the majority of the people say, oh yeah, we all agree on those transactions, then we can say, yep, those transactions actually happened. So if I wanted to say, oh no, I didn't do that transaction, if everybody agreed with me, then that would be what happened. If everybody disagreed with me, then we say, Sanjay, actually you're telling a fib, you're telling a lie, we're going to ignore your transaction from that chain. We use something called mining to do that. It's quite a complex subject. When you come onto the program, we'll explain in detail and quite simply how that actually works using a real example. You get to watch a blockchain build an example. You'll get to have someone make a mistake on the blockchain, and you'll see that whole blockchain disappear as well. So it's quite exciting. If you do join the whole program, you'll get to see that. Now, in reality, we don't really need to know how these things work. If you look at Visa and MasterCard, most people don't care or know how this works. It's just because Bitcoin has had so much interest, the price of Bitcoin has gone up so much, and people have been watching it and saying, oh, I could make millions on it. All I have to do is put my money in this thing called a Bitcoin, that people have become interested in the Bitcoin and blockchain. But no one cares about Visa, no one cares about MasterCard, and they've been transacting electronically for so many years. In fact, if we look at the stats, we can see that Visa is still one of the fastest transactions for processing online payments. Visa, we can do 24,000 transactions per second. Compare that to Bitcoin, it's only 7. Now, I'm not here saying that Bitcoin is a bad thing, it's a bad idea. However, I'm just trying to put it into context of the wider world, the wider situation that we've got. Visa still has some amazing technology out there, and look at the speeds at which it can compete at. We're still far away with any of the blockchain technologies. In the program, we'll look to explain how these blockchain technologies are catching up and what are they using to make sure that they are extremely secure. So behind this is something called cryptography, and this forms a key part of not just blockchain, but security as well.